One hot day in Florida, Oliver Bates was walking along the sidewalk of his neighborhood, unaware that his life was about to change forever. The sun was mercilessly scorching, the asphalt was so hot that it seemed possible to fry fried eggs. Suddenly, he noticed a tiny creature lying motionless under the scorching rays of the sun. Oliver stopped to take a closer look at the find, his heart racing with excitement. It was a tiny creature, the size of his thumb. The unusual animal looked barely alive, its small body heaving almost imperceptibly. The creature's skin was dry and hot to the touch, and its eyes were closed. Oliver realized that if he did not intervene, the animal would die in a matter of minutes. Without hesitation, the man carefully picked up the tiny creature and covered it in the shadow of his palm. Oliver felt a faint heartbeat reverberate through his fingers. He had no experience with wild animals, but he felt that he had to do something urgently. The man hurried home, holding the foundling close to his chest, trying not to stumble in his haste. At home, Oliver made a temporary nest for the baby made of soft cloth in a small box. His hands were shaking with excitement as he carefully placed the tiny creature there. He didn't know what to feed such a miniature animal, so he turned to the internet for help. Oliver posted photos of his find on Reddit, hoping to get advice, his fingers flying quickly over the keyboard as he described the situation. User reactions were mixed. Many were sure that the animal would not survive, especially in the hands of an inexperienced person. Some even advised Oliver to leave him to die, as this is natural selection. These words hurt Oliver, but he decided not to give up. He was absolutely certain that the fate of this tiny creature was now in his hands. Ignoring the pessimistic comments, Oliver began feeding the baby a special mixture for newborn animals from a pipette. Every drop that could be poured into a tiny mouth seemed like a victory. Every 2 hours, day and night, Oliver got up to feed his ward. The lack of sleep was making itself felt, but Oliver stubbornly continued to take care of the baby. He named the baby Cookie because he was just as small and soft. The first days were the most difficult. Cookie was very weak, and Oliver was afraid he might not make it through the night. Every morning, waking up, Oliver checked with bated breath whether his little ward was breathing, but the little creature turned out to be surprisingly tenacious. Cookie was getting stronger and more active every day, and Oliver could feel his affection for this tiny creature growing. A week later, Cookie's fur began to grow. Oliver was thrilled to watch his pet transform. Now he could see that Cookie had small paws and a long tail, but he still couldn't identify who it was. Every new hair on Cookie's body seemed like a small miracle to Oliver. A month has passed, and Cookie has turned into an energetic animal. He began to explore Oliver's house, climbing on everything that got in his way. Oliver discovered that Cookie was particularly fond of jumping and climbing. One day, Oliver almost had a heart attack when he couldn't find Cookie, and then found him sleeping peacefully in the pocket of an old jacket. By this time, Oliver had already become completely attached to his unusual pet. He created a special corner for Cookie in his house with ladders and climbing platforms. Oliver spent several sleepless nights constructing this complex, but the result was worth the effort. Cookie loved his new playground, spending hours jumping and tumbling on it. One day, Oliver noticed that Cookie was trying to glide by, jumping from high objects and spreading the skin folds between his front and hind legs. This discovery made the man think about who his pet really is. Oliver spent the whole night studying various species of flying mammals and trying to solve the mystery of Cookie. After 2 months of living together, Oliver finally got the answer to his question. One of the Reddit users, after seeing new photos of the grown-up Cookie, determined that it was a flying squirrel, a rare species found in the southern United States. Oliver felt a shiver of excitement run through his body at this discovery. Oliver was amazed. He began to study everything he could find about flying squirrels. It turned out that these animals are nocturnal and rarely come into contact with humans. But Cookie, who had been raised by humans since birth, did not behave like a wild animal at all. He loved to sit on Oliver's shoulder, watching the world around him with his big eyes. Now that Oliver knew who Cookie was, he could better take care of his needs. He changed the pet's diet, adding nuts, seeds, and fruits to it. Cookie especially loved pecans, and Oliver often laughed as he watched his little friend try to carry away a nut that was almost his size. Oliver wondered if it was possible to return cookies to the wild. This thought caused him mixed feelings. On the one hand, he wanted to give Cookie a chance at a natural life. On the other, he was afraid of losing his little friend. But experts told him that an animal raised by humans is unlikely to be able to survive on its own. Besides, Cookie was already too attached to Oliver, following him wherever he went. It wasn't an easy decision to keep cookies, but Oliver knew it was the best option for both of them. He set up a spacious cage for the pet, where Cookie could safely fly and jump. Oliver had spent all his savings on this cage, but seeing how happy Cookie was in it, he had no regrets. Oliver's life changed completely with the advent of Cookie. The unusual pet became a local celebrity, and people came to see the amazing animal. Oliver even created a social media page for Cookie, where he shared their daily lives. The number of subscribers grew every day, and soon Cookie became a real internet sensation. Cookie grew up and became more and more active. He liked to sit in Oliver's shirt pocket, peeking out with his curious eyes. Oliver often took him with him to work, where Cookie entertained his colleagues with his acrobatic tricks. One day, Cookie caused a real commotion in the office when he decided to fly between the tables, causing both delight and panic among the staff. Despite being a nocturnal animal, Cookie adapted to Oliver's daytime lifestyle. In the evenings, they watched TV together, Cookie snuggled on his master's shoulder. Sometimes Oliver noticed Cookie watching what was happening on the screen with interest, especially nature documentaries. Oliver's dogs also adopted an unusual family member. At first, Oliver was afraid that they might harm little Cookie, but it soon became clear that there was nothing to be afraid of. Cookie loved to tease dogs by jumping on their backs and running away quickly. The dogs, in turn, treated Cookie with kindness and condescension, like a restless younger brother. As time passed, Oliver realized that he couldn't imagine his life without Cookie. The little creature he found half dead on the sidewalk became his best friend and a constant source of joy and wonder. Every day brought something new. One minute Cookie learned how to open the door of his cage. The next he suddenly discovered a passion for eating popcorn during movie nights. The story of Oliver and Cookie has spread across the internet, inspiring people all over the world. Many admired Oliver's dedication and willingness to take care of such an unusual pet. Some even stated that they want to get their own pocket-flying squirrel. Oliver received hundreds of messages from people who said that his story had changed their view of the relationship between humans and animals. Oliver often thought about the day he found Cookie. He was grateful that he was in the right place at the right time. Thanks to his decision to save the tiny creature, he has found an amazing friend and a whole new outlook on life. Every time Cookie fell asleep on his chest, Oliver felt his heart overflowing with love and gratitude. Today, Cookie is living a happy life with her human dad. He has everything a flying squirrel needs: a spacious flight cage, a variety of toys, and most importantly, Oliver's love and care. The man even started studying veterinary medicine to take better care of his unusual pet. He never tires of wondering how a small creature can bring so much happiness into a person's life. Every morning, waking up and seeing Cookie sleeping peacefully in his nest, Oliver smiles, realizing that his life has become much richer thanks to this little miracle. Dear viewers, if you liked this story, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If this is your first time on this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend subscribing right now so you don't miss another exciting story.